Hi everybody, it's Sharon here today and I'm going to be talking to you about the powerhouse that is oregano oil. So it's an oil that I've used quite a bit actually. Maybe when I first got my kit I was a bit scared of it and didn't really quite know what to do with it, but I use it a lot now. So I'll give you some tips on how to use it. But one thing I would say is to be very aware that it is what we call a hot oil. So the same as something like lemongrass and cinnamon, they're hot in the sense that if you put it up to your lips or touch your nose or touch your eyes, you know, it's going to be quite catastrophic because you're going to have that burning sensation. So I would always say be really careful when you're handling it, even just in the bottle, just be cautious. So this is where your fractionated coconut oil comes in for lots of things. So if you're using it even on yourself, you know, I would say for both adults and children, you would definitely want to dilute it a little bit. So just, you know, bearing that in mind and just keeping fingers away from eyes and other sensitive places, you should be okay with it. So it's really good for treating things like fungal nail infections and skin tags, which a lot of people have, and warts. I had a real breakthrough moment with this oil and clove oil when I had quite a big, probably about that size wart on my head, which appeared very quickly, which I was a bit alarmed about. But when they checked it out, it was all pretty normal, and they offered to shave it off my head or for them to freeze it off, but I could lose some hair from that point. So I was like, yeah, I don't need a big bald patch at the front of my head. So I decided to go home and treat it myself with my oils. So I was pretty consistent with it day and night. Oregano oil, and I also used clove oil as well, and within 2 weeks it went. So for me it's just such an amazing, you know, there's such amazing oils that do so many amazing things, and when you have those aha moments you're like, yes, you know, I've done this naturally with no side effects, and it's only going to be good for my body. What else is it good for? It's a natural antioxidant, so it has antioxidant benefits. It's great for inflammation as well. Very good for treating parasites. So what would you do to treat a parasite, or if you had, you know, a viral infection, you know, if you really just didn't want to take antibiotics, this is an oil that would really give you some power to shift something. So I would use the veggie caps because, as I said, it's a hot oil. You don't want it to burn all the way down if you were necking it in a little shot glass of water. If you use your veggie caps, they're just little cellulose capsules which you would pop the oil into, so they're really easy. Take the lid off, oil in, down the hatch, so really easy. So that's a great way to take them. And if you have something that is, you know, like a parasite or something viral or infection or bacterial, you're only going to really want to use it for maybe like five to 7 days maximum, maybe 10 days at the very most as an adult, if you've got something quite fierce going on. Good for you know, because you want to, you know, keep the gut from, you know, being irritated. So yeah, you don't really want to be using it long term. So I would just say most of the other oils you're safe to kind of use consistently, but with oregano oil I would say err on the side of caution, and if you're not sure, ask your wellness advocate to guide you through taking them. Fantastic for cooking, so that's another way to get them into the body with and veggie or meat chilies, spaghetti bolognese. I made a DIY recipe the other day for part of the oil camp, so it gives you an idea of how to cook with it and how to make recipes. But you know, if you were ever unsure, just Google dōTERRA oregano oil and recipes, and lots of things would pop up with that. So what else is it good for? It's good for warming the body. As I said, it's a hot oil, and it comes in two forms. So you have your 15ml bottle, which you get in the bigger kit, the Home Essentials kit, which is what I started off with, or your smaller kit, which would have the 5ml, and then you have this touch. So it just means that you have Oregano Touch has fractionated coconut oil already in there, so that's a great one that if you might not have known about that you can get it, have it around in your handbag, you know, use it for on the go DIY things that crop up. So yeah, that's a few pointers. Using it aromatically, so it's not something that I probably would put in my diffuser, but maybe if you were making up a herby blend, and maybe for getting rid of some pathogens. I like the smell of oregano, but there's lots of other oils that I would rather use, but it can be diffused. You can also diffuse it from your hands again as well, but being a hot oil, I would just be cautious. So I would mainly use it for internal use. And of course you can use it topically, so directly onto the area. So something like a verruca, skin tag, wart, anything like that, you would pop that directly onto it and be really consistent. That's the real important thing. Keep on applying to those fungal nail infections and you will start to notice the changes. But again, just be really sure and careful that you test your own skin sensitivity and using the fractionated coconut oil. So that's me finished. I hope I've given you some pointers and some insight of how to use oregano oil. Have a lovely day. Bye.